Morning guys, James here, Sunseeker Southampton. I'm down in Hythe today on a refit project that we've just taken on. Quite an exciting task this. It's an overhaul of a Sunseeker 28 metre yacht from 2013. She's just behind me here. You have to excuse, I haven't got my camera and microphone, so apologies for the wind, but I thought it's worth having a walk around today. I've had a request on the channel from a number of people of what a 28 metre Sunseeker is all about, so here is one in the flesh. A hugely popular model. We made around 50 hulls in this model. Very popular charter boat. In its peak these were doing around 100 days of charter in the med season. It's a number of different layouts, but this is a 4-cabin boat, 8 guests, owner-operator size. It fits under 24 metre load line length, which is important for owner-operators. A main bridge on the starboard side here, inside that lovely carbon fibre hardtop up there. This one's in for a huge refit, so recently purchased by the current owners, brought back here to the UK, where we're going to start a refit over the next few months, which we're going to cover off in a number of videos to give you a flavour of what we do here when we bring boat right up to date. So lots of new technical onboard systems. We're going to take the engines out for some overhaul works, new interior fabrics and finishes, and some teak works and what have you. So she will look absolutely like a new boat when finished. And this particular yacht is going into charter in the south of France into the 21 season, so it's a great opportunity if you want to get out on one of these. Absolutely fresh to the market, really exciting to see a new boat into the charter fleet, and she's going to be really the best of everything. So let's head on down and we take a closer look. So we're now down on the pontoon. You'll notice twin anchor winch set up there on the stem. One of the first models in the range to have these big glass windows through the hull. That's a load of natural light in downstairs. You see the gel coat on this one's pretty good. The advantage of having a white boat, obviously much less UV degradation compared to say a blue or black hull. We've got a nice side access door in here, makes access. You've got a set of Marquis steps that go on the side if you're occasionally docked alongside a key wall. Tender on the back, take up to a 460 Williams. It's obviously a hydraulic high-low bathing platform, lifts 650 kilos. So we'll be looking at that. As I plan to replace the external teak surfaces, which will bring the boat right up to new spec. Big curved glass windows. These were one of the first models where we started to introduce carbon fibre into the build, which meant basically these mullions here, which support the flybridge above us. You'll see down the sides there, seamless glass from bow to stern. We'll have a look inside, but basically the use of carbon allowed us to reduce these mullions right down in their width, and much more glass to give a real massive bright open saloon inside. Very tall bulwarks, so if we drop down here you can see really safe, real big ship feel on these. Teak capping on the top. Some of the boats had synthetic wood. This is starting to show its age, so we're actually going to replace, see here where it's starting to go through the wood. We're replacing all of that as part of the refit. And then the first boat in the series that we did this, so this is called a Portuguese bow, and basically rather than having a central island sun pad in here and then the walk down the side to the bow, we've actually got these outboard sun beds and then the walk through to the centre. Gives a lot more working room. So you see we've got 2 big hydraulic anchor winches there, and looking aft then, these are big sun beds. There's backrests that sit in here on those plinths, so you've got seating and sunbeds. This obviously is a very private area when you're in port, to come up away from the bustle going on the quay side behind you. Of course, things like the tabletop here we will replace. full exterior upholstery replacement. We're going to do some black detailing paint up on the Flybridge. You can see we've got a crew door in here to the lower helm. There's also a door into the galley on the other side. One of the first modules in the range also to feature the drop-out bulwark, which we've now run through on the 86 and certain other models in the range. And then back here in the cockpit you'll see there's a separate throttle and there's a thruster control to go in there as well. It's a very, very popular entertaining boat, loads of onboard space, nice wet bar area here in the aft end of the cockpit. And then we've got these lovely stainless steel antique stair treads to take you up to the Flybridge. Easy to walk down forwards or backwards, and you're greeted at the top with the wet bar. Boat's geared up for 4 crews, so you generally run captain, hostess, chef and a deckhand, all with a multi-function role on a yacht of this size, so very easy for serving up and down the stairs there. Those are the side boarding ladders there that you see currently lying on the deck. So this area currently an open space, so you'd either lay this out with teak sun loungers. You've got removable rails on the back here, so actually you could add a crane or jet ski, or in this case we're actually exploring the idea of adding a jacuzzi spa bath on top here. And then up top you see everything is currently in a very clinical white factory finish, and we're looking at painting the domes and the roof structure here on the external sides of the hardtop here in a gloss black, just to bring the boat up to current trends. We do a lot of the new boats like that at the moment. Flybridge Helm is on the port side, and we've got big things like the track hydraulic thruster controls, proprietary fly-by-wire digital throttle and shift on the gearboxes there. She's running MTU 12V engines, which are 1950 horsepower a piece. Gets on to the upper 20 knot range, flat out, fully planing hull, very efficient also at slow speed these, so we'll run around 1200 miles. On the tanks, obviously loads and loads of seating, sunbed space up here. It's a great social area. You imagine just checking along at 10-12 knots, enjoying the view, moving from port to port or bay to bay. We're running a track stabiliser system with big fin stabilisers, so very comfortable at all speeds. Obviously all covered up, but this is being replaced, all the upholstery up here, so we've got 3 nice bar stools here at the main outdoor entertaining space there. Obviously going to be turned into a commercial yacht, so lots of coding works to do to bring her in line with all the safety equipment needed in order to start using her for charter. And then here's the saloon. I'd say all the cushions are inside. I'm obviously not going to put them out. I'll say she's just very much in storage now, ready for works to start later this week. But walking through the doors, so port side here we've got a big seating area, which we're going to do something quite different with, a lot more squared off furniture. These huge glass windows. If I open some blinds up here, you can see how big those glass. And then these are say about a third of the size of the original. If they were built in outright fiberglass, the windows would be a lot smaller, but in doing this it allowed us much more glass in the build. I think there must have been a painting up here or something before you can see the light and power there. These are the patio doors that lead out to the balcony. So you see we've got the big glass doors. We're looking at putting a dining table in here. Floors are all being changed. This will all come apart actually, so up in the ceiling here, probably a little bit hard to see, but this is a called a soft hatch up top here. So it's actually a hidden hatch in the deck here. There's a hidden hatch up in the ceiling, and the engines can come straight up and out through the floors. Obviously with all of this being replaced, you'll never know once it's all been completed. Galley is up here on main deck. This particular one with a closed galley. We did lots of different layouts of these. This is an electric shutter that opens and closes. The woodwork is a black American walnut with a gloss finish here. And it's in great shape actually. The wood on this boat is really good. That was something we looked at when the buyer was exploring the market. And things like the soft linings on the walls here, you can see a little bit of rippling. Fairly common boats this age that have been in the heat. That's all being changed, so nothing to worry about, purely cosmetic. So fully furnished galley. Mixture of Miele and Bosch appliances generally on these builds. It's sort of a gloss avocado colour on the cabinetry here. And then we've got big refrigeration freezer cupboards up top here with the drawers underneath. There were a couple of different options up here on the main deck. This is set up with a sort of servery come bar space. There was also an option for a day heads up here. This particular yacht, you've got the day heads downstairs there. So we've got, say, wine fridges and glass storage and what have you. And then the main bridge. So on original Simrad navigation equipment, we're running Catalan. These are 19-inch Catalan screens. We're just looking at options of what we might do here differently going forward. You've obviously got lovely Bezanzoni captain, electric captain and co-pilot seats here. And if we just sit up helm and take in the view that you see from the bridge. This is generally the area where the crew hang out during the day. So we've got a little seating area here opposite, and we're actually looking at putting a screen in behind here just to close this area off for a bit more privacy for the guests behind. I say very much in the realm of owner-operator size, sub 24 metre load line. Very cleverly designed these, so the bow section on these is technically removable. So there's actually a section forward of the sunbeds there, which if you needed to remove it, you can. And that actually brings the length of the boat down under 24 metre load line, although it measures almost 28 metres from tip to tip. Accommodation split down 2 stairwells, so there's a guest VIP cabin here going down forwards. Full of cushions at the moment, so hard to take in exactly the space on offer, but we've got a big centerline double bed. Little couch there over on the starboard. And then the bathroom itself. So we're going to change the tiles, the floors. So loads of planned cosmetic changes in this one, just to bring her absolutely up to current specs. New AV systems, PepWave, which is the router system, putting a big system in to allow connectivity whilst running offshore. So that's the day head, bottom of the stairs there. And then if we come back up, there's now a centre stairwell here that takes us down to the further 3 cabins. So we've got the master and 2 guest cabins down here. Changing all the lighting as well, just to give a new feel. So the master is forward with this big centerline. Try and stand back enough to take it in. There's again, full of cushions in here, but there's a sideboard that runs down the starboard side of the boat, and then dressing area. We've got a wardrobe, walk-in wardrobe on this side, and over here again a big heads compartment. then coming aft we have two guest cabins, lots of different configurations built to owner specs. This particular one we've got twin beds in the starboard cabin. See those lovely big windows now inside, again with its own ensuite. Starting to replace a few of the lights in here, so a little bit dim. And then this side they elected to go with the fixed double bed. Great view out of the windows. And again another heads. Quite cool gadgets. I just pop down on the panel here. Watch up in the ceiling. That's where your TV comes from. Just keeps it out of the way. It doesn't spoil that lovely big view out from the windows behind. Fold that back away, and if we head on up we'll take a look around the crew and the engine room. So say four crew in the stern. We've got twin generators, 28 and 32 kilowatts apiece, which are coming out for a refresh. So accessed in off the bathing platform here is a lift up door. So there's laundry facilities here in the back. This is obviously a working space for the crew to live in. So we've got two bunk cabins, all MLC compliant, which is the crewing regulations. So another two over here on the starboard side. And then this is a mess area here in the stern. If you weren't running this commercial, sometimes you see a fifth bunk bed sat in the back here, but for MLC 4 is the maximum. They've got a small galley area here for preparation. There's a little bathroom here, obviously for the crew to use, with a shower here behind the door. Big heavy duty fire door. So it takes us through to the machinery space. So everything's incorporated into one area. And these are the 12V 1950 horsepower triple turbo MTUs. Sequential turbos, so they get up and go. They really are a rocket ship, despite the weight of the boat, about 65 tons. These are parasols for the foredeck up here. So we've got two of those. See these, this is an optional cradle in here for storing bits above the engine. And they're on a V-drive, so you can see coming forward on the shaft here, this is the gearboxes up forward. And then we've got plants up in front of us here. This is a water maker, plants for air conditioning systems, fire suppression, and all the electronics, what have you, on any of the space on the various bulkhead surfaces. So it's all well packed in. So it was a great working boat. Very few problems with these when they were put into real heavy use for the charter market. So in this one, having always been used as a private yacht, is actually pretty good on the machinery. Owners just electing to belt and braces approach before changing all that teak and all the heavy duty works around that. Just an ideal time to get everything out, check them over with MTU, make sure they're all good before we put her into the Mediterranean. So we're about 3 to 4 months work on here, allowing for the paint, the gel coat works, the machinery, and then the internal cosmetics. It's a really exciting project, something we've been discussing with the owner for some time now, and looking forward to getting started. So these are the sheds at Hythe, which is a place called Solent Refit, where the boat will start her journey through the initial phases of removing of the engines, starting on the woodworks outside, servicing stabiliser systems, that kind of thing. Once that's finished, then we'll return her to Poole to the main Sunseeker shipyards, where we can carry on with the cosmetics and get her ship shape ready for the final acceptance. So I hope you enjoyed the tour today. Just a brief one, ideal opportunity to see the boat in her raw state, and yeah, I'll be covering this one over the next few months as we see her turn into something very akin to the latest boats coming off the production line. If you'd like to know any more about this particular boat or anything else in the range, of course, my contact details are james@sunseekersouthampton.com, or my mobile's +44 7747 686 587. Very happy to talk to you about refit work or new builds or used stock. Of course, we do a number of different options out there in the market, larger and smaller, to suit your needs. Hope you enjoyed that tour, and we look forward to hearing from you soon.